Hey, welcome to Thirsty Amigos. Thanks for joining me on this episode. On this episode, we are going to be going over some of the books that I've collected over the last 30 years of my journey with tequila that I've been on. It never ends, so you're always looking for more information to soak up. So a lot of these books, I got them over throughout the years, the decades now, to learn more about tequila. You're always learning. There's always something new coming out about tequila. And so what I want to do is go over some of these books I have in my collection. Some of you may have some of these. Some of you may have never seen some of these. Some of them are long out of print. But you can always try to look like on eBay, or there's some used bookstores online nowadays. So, or just go down to your local bookstore. Some of these are still available now. But let's check them out. I got them in different sections. We're going to go over uh, different ways, so I don't have a whole bunch of books just sitting here and fumbling through them. So we're going to do them in sections. So uh, stick with me, and we'll check out all these books on tequila. All right, let me get reset, and I'll be right back. Salud. Hey, thanks for sticking around and joining me on this episode. We're going to go over some of the uh, first things that you get on your tequila journey if you're starting out. Like if you go to some of the tastings around town or in certain areas that are put on by people, you get pamphlets handed to you. So some of these tell a story. Some have recipes and stuff like this Casa Noble. If you look at the back of it here, it has all kinds of recipes for your uh, Casa Noble and Corona mixtures. So sometimes you can get some cool uh, recipes like that for your tequila cocktails. Partita was another one that was at a tasting that I went to. They had a really cool brochure on the history of the Partita. One of the dinners, the Fortaleza Adelitas down here in downtown Denver had a Fortaleza dinner, and they had a little pamphlet that they handed out about some of their history and everything on their tequila journey that they're on, which is awesome. And then we have when Amigo Tom and I went down to Mexico for the International Tequila Conference, we went to Tequilas del Senor, and they had a huge uh, literature pamphlet. Okay, I don't know if this is in the camera. About all their history and everything, and then on the other side about some of the products that they make and stuff. So it's really cool, really good tequila too that they make. We also went to El Tequiliano. They had a little brochure that they were handing out at one of their things. This is one of their RTDs that they had at the time when we were there. Tells a little bit about their history also, which is really cool. So you get a lot of pamphlets and stuff. So I save a lot of those all the time. Oh, here's a huge one from Tequilas del Senor. And what was cool about this one, it has all the awards that Tequilas del Senor has won over the years for their 65th anniversary when Amigo Tom and I went in 2009. Speaking of which, there is a video that I made for that week-long conference that Tom and I were at. If you want to go check that out, we went to some of the distilleries. We went to the CRT, which is really cool. If you want to check that video, look down. I'll put it in the link below, but you can look at it on our YouTube page. Just scroll down to the videos, but I'll try to put a link down. It has a lot of cool information about the trip and everything. Some magazines that you can get. This one I bought at the airport in Mexico. It is all about Mezcal. There's all kinds of cool information in here. I don't know if I can do it this way. About Mezcal. It's really cool, really informative, and really cool pictures and everything about the process. And then here's some more magazines that have little features. This one just has a blurb. It's tequila time, so it's saying the rise of tequila, how it has boomed. And then this one, you can see the most interesting man in the world when he switched to tequila, which is pretty funny. So that's him pouring him a drink with Astral. And then went to Vegas at the nightclub and bar show. They had the Spirits of Mexico there. And this is the pamphlet that they were handing out at the Spirits of Mexico and everything. It has a lot of cool information on this. So I saved this stuff too. It has all kinds of neat information about the brands that were there. And they had a lot of cool brands. And then when it started to get repetitive, when Tom and I went down to the Tequila International Tequila Conference, World International Tequila Conference, and Distillery Tour is what it's officially called. They had a pamphlet about the whole conference that was here. And if you look at this picture right here, this was taken by Grover from tastetequila.com and the Tequila Matchmaker app. Before he, oh, she got the shirt on right here. Before he launched his app, and before I think Taste Tequila was just getting going at the time when I met him at this conference, he's always been an established photographer, so he took this picture for the official program for it, which is pretty cool. And then on the back, El Tesoro was one of the sponsors when we visited the distillery there. Carlos was awesome at that place at La Latena. All right, and then some of the other books that you're gonna see too that I have are about the culture of Mexico. So this one right here is Jalisco. What is it? Tierra del Tequila. So it's all about the area around Tequila. There's beautiful pictures in it and everything. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Look at that. Pretty awesome. Really cool book. It is all in Spanish, so I gotta learn my Spanish really well. It hasn't been going that well, so hopefully it'll get better though. And this is by Artes de Mexico. They make a lot of really cool books about all of Mexico, not just tequila. And then this one is Heaven. What is it? Heaven, Earth, and Tequila. This is a really cool book that goes over a lot of the culture around the town of Tequila. Really cool pictures in here. Real the style that they were done in are pretty sweet. Hopefully that's not too glary right there, if that's a word. And then you got Tequila Spirits of Mexico. A lot of these had dust jackets on them, but I've stored them safely away so they don't get ripped. This has a lot of the history of tequila, the town, how tequila started, the first producers of tequila, and everything. And what's really cool about these, and you'll see a theme on some of these books, is the pictures that they have of really old bottles from the time that these books were made and everything. So that's a really good book. Here's another one, Tequila Tradition y Destino. That's another good book. Look at that beautiful vista right there on overlooking it. But there's a lot of cool. Oh, here's a famous one right here. Well, that was lucky. So this is El Tesoro right here, and you've heard stories about the guy who, as they're filling up the wooden fermentation tanks, he would stand in there and he would just kind of move around, and he would only be in his. I don't know if he was fully nude or if he had some his underwear on or something, but he would be all in there, just moving all the musto around and everything, just getting stuff going as they filled that barrel up, or they filled the fermentation tank up. And Carlos would say that from the neck down, he was like smooth as a baby because he was always in the tequila or the fermentation of the tequila. So that's pretty cool. And you can see right here where they're using the fibers right there to ferment. This book's really cool too. A lot of cool old pictures of some of the old bottles and everything that are here. There's Don Julio, the man himself. So yeah, these are really cool to look through to see all the stuff over the ages. Some other books here that are kind of old. Starting with, there are some on Mezcal. Here's a book on Mezcal. This is a newer one too. Just came out not too long ago. It's a really good book about Mezcal, everything Mezcal. This one's pretty new too. Just came out. I just saw this at a local bookstore, the big one. You probably know what that is, but you can probably get it online. Decent price. This is all about tequila mezcal, also companion. So this is a good book too. They're all good, but there's not a bad book anywhere about tequila if you ask me. But some are a little bit better than others. This is the what is the Toma Margaritas. This is about margaritas and tequila. This is a combination in here. I think this is put mostly on by Salsa, because if I remember right, it's mostly Salsa products. Yeah, it's all Salsa products that are pimped in here. You can see some of the, and they'll have like recommended bottles and stuff. Yeah, there's all the Tres Sones bottles and stuff. And there's, yeah, so there it is, Salsa. And then some of these books, my good friend Amigo Jeff got me I bought one of these for me. They're the same book. I found one at a used bookstore, and then he got me one. It's weird. They have the exact same amount of pages, but one's thicker than the other one, but they're exact same, and they're from the same year. These are from 1978, all about tequila. And what's really cool about this one, it has the old Vino Mezcal from Jose Cuervo on it, which is pretty cool. So there's a lot of historical value in these too, because you can see what tequila was back in the day, and where it's come from, where it came from, and then where it's going now too. Some of these newer books will talk about, hey, where are we heading and stuff. What's new? What are some of these new distilleries doing? That's really cool. So let me reset and bring out some more books we can talk about, and I'll be right back. All right, salute. All right, we're back. Um, so some of these books you can find at the discount bin at like Barnes and Noble. There might be some other chains I'm not familiar with, but here in Denver, a lot of these books, like these two, you'll see them on the clearance. It'll be like, I don't know, $7-8 off. So if you're lucky, some of these are still sitting around, and they got some good information on. A lot of these always have a recipe and stuff in them too. And like this one, it's pretty cool. It has tasting notes that you can put in here, which is pretty sweet. So you get some like that. Some of these tiny. This is like a field guide. You can take this with you. This is the mini bar tequila, the little book of big drinks right there. So it's pretty cool. Let's see. This one is an older book too, not too old, but this has more recipes in it than anything else. Tells a little bit about tequila, but then it has a lot of recipes how to cook with tequila and a lot of cocktails. And you got this one here, same thing. It's a mixture. A lot of these are a mixture of here's some history about tequila a little bit, and then here's a bunch of recipes. So a lot of these, but you can get some really cool ideas from some of these. This one, not too old on this one. This is Mezcal and tequila cocktails. You've probably seen this one recently on some of the social medias, but this is a really good book too. That's worth a read for sure. And then this one is Hola Tequila. This one was definitely in the bottom bin at the time, and it has a lot of cool pictures of the cocktail. So a lot of times the cocktail won't have a picture, but this one will have really cool pictures of the cocktail. Sorry, to go along with the recipes and everything. And again, there's a brief uh, thing on what the ages of the tequila are and what tequila is and everything. So you can get a little bit of quick education on some of these. There's another cool book of mine that I like. This one right here. This has a lot of cool pictures around the town of Tequila. And it has some of the recipes in the back too, but it has a lot of cool pictures of the town. So this has a little bit more to do with all of Tequila, the culture, the people, and the drink itself. So that one's pretty cool. So some of these books too, the distillery will put out special books that they about themselves. One book here that I got as a gift, the Patron Way. This is a book about kind of like uh, the business of what Patron, where it came from, how it came to be. So this is a kind of a controversial book. You can look all that up if you want to, but it tells the story of Patron from beginning to end. But I think it leaves out some important details along the way, how they got where they went. But there it is, if you want to check that out. And then to go along with Patron, they put their own book out right here. This is by Patron. This has cocktail drinks in it. Oh, I got some in here. Forgot I had these in there. Some old Patron labels that go on the bottles. And in here they have a lot of cocktails too, on how they suggest that you drink some of their tequila, which I like Patron too. They got some good stuff. But yeah, this is mostly all cocktail driven on this one. And then my good friend, uh, Queen of Tequila, you know who you are, gifted me this book. It's all about Coraleo. And if you know Coraleo, they're really famous for their blue bottles. They're really, I don't have one right now, the really tall blue glass bottles. So this book is all about the history of Corleo. Uh, if you ask me, when they used to be really good, they're not as great as they used to be. But that's just my personal opinion. But back in the day, they made a really good reposado. But you can see that some of the pictures up here. I'd still love to go to the distillery. It's supposed to be beautiful. That's one place I'd like to go. So this is a really cool book. So sometimes the distilleries will put a book out about themselves, which is pretty neat. So, all right, let's reset and let's go over real quick some cookbooks, and then the teaser. I got some really important books that you really should have in your library, tequila library. All right, be right back. Salute. All right, hey, thanks for coming back. Thanks for sticking with me, I should say. So also with tequila and margaritas, you see in some of the books already have some cocktails and recipes for certain meals and stuff. But these are specific for cocktails. That's all these really are. They might have a brief thing about uh, tequila, but mostly it's all about the margarita. Like this one's all about margaritas, what kind of different margaritas you can have and everything and create for whatever occasion you're going to put on. So this one's a really good book for margaritas. Mean Margaritas is another good one. All these, like I said, all these are good. But some of these, like right here, the Añejo Manhattan. So I just to put it out there, I'd love to do a series where because you have all the different ages of tequila, where you can take a tequila and replace it with a spirit of the same color and everything. So like if it calls out for vodka, let's use a Blanco or light Repo. If it calls out for a bourbon, let's use a heavily aged bourbon or Repo or Añejo Extra Añejo for some of the drinks that call out for those spirits. So look for that. We might do that pretty soon. Here's another margarita. This one even says margarita cookbook on it. So it's all about cooking. Some I've never done is made salsa with tequila, but I do see a lot of recipes there. I'll have to try that sometime. This is another good book for cooking. This one is Viva Margaritas. Like I said, I took a lot of the dust jackets off these to protect the dust jacket. I know it doesn't make sense. It should protect the book, but I love the dust jackets on some of these. They're really beautiful. So again, there's a lot of recipes on this one. This one is Liquid Mexico. That's a good one for a lot of drinks. And this has a lot of history about all things like pulque, the margarita, beer, and everything is all included in here, which is really cool. Here's Tequila 1000. So you can make 1,000 cocktails. So let's see here. There's 700 unbeatable tequila cocktails, 130 tequila resources in here, 50 facts about tequila, and 50 delicious food recipes. So they tell you everything that's in here, which is pretty cool. So see, like I was saying on this one or that other book, they don't have pictures of the cocktails, but this book would be huge if they did. But that other one had a lot of cool pictures to go along to make sure you're making it correctly. This is a nice book, Margaritas, the world's favorite cocktail, which I agree. It's one of my favorites. This one has some nice pictures to go along with it too, which is pretty cool. So that's another good one, Margaritas. And then you got some of the cookbooks, and then this one is Mesa Mexicana. So this is a good one. This is the bold flavors of all of Mexico, and it's just a lot of recipes. Some using tequila and all flavors around Mexico. And then you got, let's do this one real quick. The next one's famous. So William Sonoma also did a big, huge cookbook, a Savory Mexico right there. And it has a nice section about cocktails in here and a little blurb about tequila and mezcal. So, and then they got really, as I'm enjoying it, really cool pictures of the food, and then of some of the places where the food is from, some of the towns and stuff, which is really cool. Okay, and then Rick Bayless. So, he has his Mexico one plate at a time. Here's his book, Mexico one plate at a time. I'm not sure which edition. It's definitely not a first edition, but it is a really good cookbook. He really does know a lot about tequila and mezcal, so he is a good resource about that. And then his restaurant is Fontera. Is that right? Yeah, Fontera. And so this book is all about his restaurant and what they serve there and everything. And I believe it's in Chicago, if I remember right. And yeah, so he'll go over a lot of the cocktails and the foods that he uses at that restaurant, which is pretty cool. So really good flavors right there. All right, so that's some of the cookbooks for tequila. Let's next. I'm going to reset, and I'm going to go over some important books that you should have in your tequila library. I'll be right back. Salud. All right, we're back. Thanks for sticking around with me to the end here. So these are books I think everyone should have in their tequila collection. I mean, all of them are worth having in your tequila library because you're going to get educated. But a lot of these kind of stand out because of the author or the subject matter that they're covering, I think. So to start with, this is an older. This is the Mesa, which was a famous Mesa grill. Let's see if I can get a year on this one. This is 1998. This is from Mesa Grill. So this is a book that um, has a lot of recipes in it. But what I love about it, it tells about a lot of the older tequilas. So this, for a reference book, also is really worth having because it shows a lot of the older bottles that were made back in the there's the process of tequila and everything. And if it tells about a lot of distilleries, it shows some of the bottles that are from their distillery, which is cool because a lot of those are not in production anymore. They tell about the label when let's see. Oh, here we go. Just because I would love to have one. It has the old El Tesoro bottles, and then it has the I think that's the Muy Añejo. Yeah, Muy Añejo, and it has the really old school silver logo on it, which is really cool. I'd love to have one of those. So this is a good one. The Mesa Grill book is worth getting. This one about the culture of tequila. This is Tequila Natural and Cultural History by this is Anna. This is by Anna Valenzuela Zapata. Zapata. I always say her name. Sorry, and Gary Paul Nuwan. This is a good book to have because it has a lot about the history and everything of tequila and where it's come from and everything, and about the agave plants too. So there's a lot of importance about taking care of the agave plant as a species. But I'm not the one to talk on that. There's a lot of other people that know a lot more of that than I do. But this will talk about a lot of that. So that's definitely worth a read right there. Another from Tequilas del Senor, I met a catador that they have, Juan Bernardo Torres Mora. He wrote a book all about tequila and his experiences about being a catador and everything. And we met him down at the tequila conference too, and he autographed it to me right there. He's one of the best guys you could ever meet. So friendly, so nice, and there's another book. It's all in Spanish. I'm trying to read it through it. My Spanish is not the best at all, but it has a lot to cover about his journey as a catador and what to do as a catador. So really good book right there. Let's see. Let's skip to these. Some of these back in the day. This is a really good one. Lance Cutler. When I was starting my tequila journey, this book and this book right here by Bob Emmons were like the tequila Bible at the time. These were the books that you wanted to get in your hand to learn about tequila. So these are a lot of the information. Some of these distilleries probably don't even are in existence anymore, or the products have changed that they go over. But he goes over every bit of tequila, everything you want to know, all the information. So this is a very, very good book to get. I highly recommend getting this one. The Tequila's Lover's Guide to Mexico by Lance Cutler. Very cool book. And then the other one is Bob Evans. If I could talk, sorry. Bob Emmons. So this is another book that talks about his journey when he went down to Mexico and started getting into tequila. And he talks about all his visits at all the distilleries that he went to and everything. There's some pictures and it's all black and white though, but it has a lot of information in this one. This is a really good book to get for sure. Another good author is Lucinda Houston. She wrote a couple books. I got both of them here. This is her first book that she did. Awesome picture of her back there, enjoying everything. And she's on social media too. You can look her up. Lucinda Houston, and she knew a friend that was a cool artist, and there's really cool artwork in here, which is pretty neat. And this is Cooking with the Spirit of Mexico. It's another cooking and cocktail book, but this one's really cool. The artwork alone is worth the price tag, but it has a lot of information about really in depth about the cocktail that you're making and the areas that some of the stuff comes from. It's really highly recommend this book. Well, all these are highly recommended. And her second book was Viva Tequila that she wrote. As far as I know, this could still be in production. I think, I don't know, we'll have to check and see what these are. This is another good book. This really, again, there's some beautiful pictures in here. There's a section on Mezcal, but she has really great art or pictures, artwork of the area, packed full of information about tequila and everything. So this is definitely worth getting to if you don't already have it. And let me know if you guys have these books, and if there's some books I don't have, which there are, let me know too, because you're always learning. Like I said, you're always seeking these books out to get the knowledge that they have. Now I'm going to talk about, this is going way back. Ian Chadwick started the Blue Agave Forum way back in the day, and he used to print these little pocket guides. And back then, this is one of the best guides you could have, especially if you were going around Mexico. It's a really cool little handbook about everything tequila. I'll read the back here. You're going to learn about the worm myth, how tequila is made, where it comes from, the history of tequila, how to drink tequila, the worldwide tequila shortage. So there's always ebb and flows of agave plants. So there's a tequila shortage and there's an abundance. So it always ebbs and flows. So when this was coming out, there is a shortage of tequila, and he was always revising it too. So you can go to the Blue Agave. He used to have a website, ianchadwick.com tequila that you could get this book from, and it wasn't, I think, a couple bucks, $5 if that, and he would put it together, or he would send it and you could assemble it yourself, but I made him assemble it. Sorry, Ian, if you're watching, but I do appreciate it. So this is awesome little feel good to have. And then we're gonna get to some of these real important ones. This one just came out. This is a new one. This is a field guide to tequila by Clayton J. Sesnich. And this is brand new. Grover from Taste Tequila or Tequila Matchmaker took a lot of the photographs in here for this book. But there's a famous video online that covers this whole book journey that Clayton was on. I've never met Clayton, but I've had a lot of interactions with him way back in the day. He had some really cool shot glasses that I purchased from him a long time ago that were really cool. So he's a great guy. So I highly recommend this. He is very knowledgeable about all things tequila. You will get a wealth of knowledge if you read this book. There's a lot in here that you want to know. If you want to know a lot about tequila, this may be a good starting point because it is current right now, and he is a great author. So, and of course, the pictures that Grover took are really good too. Next, okay, so another oldie that's out of print and the good one that just came out. This is the Tequila Ambassador. Both of these are called the Tequila Ambassador. This is the original one, Thomas Estes right here. And then the other one is the Virgin Original, which is an updated version. You'll see the difference in them. But this is the first one. So Tomas Estes was the co-creator of Ocho. That's what he's most famous for. But he's been on a tequila journey that goes back way, way, way back. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. But I did get to meet him and hang out with him for a few minutes. But it was totally worth it. He's such an influential guy, and his passion for tequila is unmatched, if you ask me. He was awesome. Yeah, really great guy. I got some stories I'm going to do a video on when I interacted with him coming up soon. But his book here was really highly sought after. um, in the day. So it has a lot of information on his tequila journey, what he learned, what he's seen, what he did. Oh, there's Siete Leguas right there. So this book, if you can find it, it's definitely worth picking up. I've heard there's stories of these. This book right here is way up there. A lot of people are selling these for a lot of money now, like a few $100s. So, but this is a great book. But this just came out not too long ago, within this last month or two. Here's the revised version. So this revised version is more, and I forget the podcast I listened to, and forgive me, guys. I'll have to see if I can put it in the description. But they had the co-creators of this book. Of course, this one was when Tomas was alive, and this one came out after he passed away. But this still has a lot of the stories that he told and everything. They went through a lot of his diaries and notes and everything. I think they said there's a lot of notes that they went through. But there's a lot. What's in here too is a lot of people in the industry talk about their interaction with Tomas also, which is really cool to read about and everything, and what the influence that he had on everyone, the touch that he had everywhere he went was really cool. So I highly recommend this book too. And like I said, this one just came out. These two right here are new right now. You can get these. These are the two I highly recommend getting. Like I said, let me know if there's any that you uh, have that I have not shown. I tried to track down all I could that I had in my library. So, but let me know if you have some, if you like them, if you agree with my recommendations. Let me know, and then definitely if there are some that I did not do, let me know too. Put them in the description below. That way, others who are seeking out this information or seeking out books can share in that knowledge. So, all right. Thanks again, guys, for joining me on this episode. Thanks for sticking to the end. I know it was a long one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and notification bell. I need Amigo Mike here to help me remember this stuff. That really helps us out, and it helps us keep on this journey a little bit longer. So appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next video. Salud.